investigator, but they look like real conversations to me. So moving forward, I think these documents should probably be admitted to a judge or the judge that's in charge of this case so that they can decide whether they're real or not, and then let the Tates go because there's no evidence. Also, what is really interesting is I found this on Spy News. They're a random Romanian news outlet. Only Spy News are covering this, which is really interesting to me because whenever something's released which is negative about the Tates, the BBC, Vice, CNN are always the first to talk about it. But now there's something which is positive and could actually prove the Tates to be innocent. That comes out and just only one little Romanian news outlet is covering it. Funny how that works.
What's going on, everyone? Sauce Screening here today. We'll be reacting to Layah Heilpern. And I wanted to get like a woman's point of view on this. So I wanted to react to her video. You know, a lot of males are talking about it. A lot of feminists out there will say that men will give a biased commentary on this because we're the most skeptical of the Believe All Woman movement. And you know why. Because it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
That anyone's capable of lying, regardless of their gender, regardless of their race, right? But I digress. Let's get into it. She's going to get into her commentary about the situation, and let's get into the video.
4 days ago, screenshots began floating around the internet of these two young women having a WhatsApp conversation, and these are the women that claim to be victims of the Tate brothers. The first girl was from the US, the second girl was from Moldova, and you can see through these WhatsApp messages how they talk about being actresses and essentially how they plan to set up the Tates. I'm going to bring it up on screen and we can read through it together. So as you can see, these screenshots are the transcripts of the entire conversation, and it starts 2 days before the first raid back in April 2022.
So my commentary here is going to be pretty direct. I don't like liars, right? I don't like people making false accusations or accusing people of something they didn't do. I believe that if you make a false accusation, you should be liable to go to prison for a long time. Yes, I'm very harsh because I believe that people who like to game the system is a certain type of person that doesn't care about destroying someone's reputation. Recently, it happened here in the U.S. I believe it was like two people lost their contract. It was I think they were football players over a false accusation. I don't remember the story. Maybe someone in the comment section can remind me. But they lost 5 years of their life because of a false accusation made by the woman. You think the woman suffered anything?
Nope.
They didn't suffer anything. And this is setting a bad precedent. You're incentivizing these women that, hey, I can keep doing this. Because at the end of the day, people are only as good as the laws that enforce it. If someone knows they can do something negative towards another person and not suffer any negative consequences from it, that's a bad deal. You're essentially saying, hey, you can do whatever you want. And you're seeing more and more of this stuff happening, that people are leveraging the justice system as a weapon or a cudgel, as Ben Shapiro like to say, against people they don't like, people that don't do as they say, because a lot of this stuff stems from money, influence. The girl had motive. She was mad at the fact that Andrew Tate did not want to give her, I guess, a come up. Like, oh, I don't want to shout you out, or I don't want to give you a shout out. I don't know. She wanted to do some TikTok with Andrew Tate to try to use his fame for her own personal gain. And when he said,
nope,
you can see how this ended up. She ended up trying to frame him. But hey, I digress. Let's get back into the video.
You can see the first girl starts off by saying, "You a good actress?" ? So already that's a red flag. Why would you ask somebody if they're a good actress? It means something's fake, something's contrived, something not real is going to happen. She then says, "True, perfect."
And here's another thing. This is the argument for people who just believe all women, right? The believe all women stands on this false conception that people are inherently good, which I don't agree with. It don't make any sense. People are not inherently good. I won't even say people are inherently evil. I say we all have the capacity to do both, right? I'm just saying whatever the capacity is based on what is beneficial for you as the individual, especially if you're religious. If you're not religious, you're more likely to do something in your own best gain. If it was in your own best gain to lie about somebody to get them back for the fact that they deny you an opportunity, would you do it? I'll wait.
How dare you?
It's the truth. That's the reality. I live in reality. I understand that people can try to game the system, and your law should be as specific and as scrutiny as possible to prevent people from leveraging the system as a weapon against another. But we're not doing this in our day and age because we put so much importance on feelings.
It doesn't matter how it makes you feel.
Over the reality and the facts of human life and human nature in general. But hey, I digress. Let's get back into the video.
Perfecto. Just play it cool. Got it. What are they going to be playing cool? Act like you don't know anything. Just play dumb. The other girl says, I'm going to pull some tears out. Now we know that she's going to pretend to cry. So clearly they're going to be acting.
Yeah.
She says, and play dumb. Good advice. Thank you. So they're going to pretend to cry and they're going to play dumb. So clearly a lot of acting is going on here from the two girls claiming to be victims of the Tates. One day before the first raid, one girl says, we are really good and we need an Oscar. She says we need an Oscar, which confirms these girls are acting and they're proud.
Oh, and then feminism wonder why people don't believe the all women hashtag. Because of S like this, because of ish like this. Come on, guys.
It doesn't make sense.
Like, women, feminists preach about equality all the time. Oh, we want to be equal. We want to be equal. Okay, when a man do something, we hold him accountable for his actions, regardless if he's drunk, regardless if he's on drugs. It don't matter. If you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime. But what about females? We don't do that to them. And this is my argument, that we infantilize or we treat women like babies, and that's sexist. Based on your gender, they treat you a different way. You get a different treatment compared to the other, right? Isn't that the whole equality thing that you feminists been fighting hard to fight against? But all it seems like all you guys want is rules for D, but not for me. That's all y'all want. Y'all want the privilege and the ability to do one thing at the expense of someone else because of your gender. You just want you want privilege. You want female privilege. That's what it comes across to me. You want to have the privilege to make a false accusation on a man. You get caught being framed and people still try to take your side. It seems like you can't win as a man. Male managers don't want to be in the same room as a female coworker by himself. Y'all asking all these questions, but this is evidence right here for that. And my take is, I believe that Andrew Tate and his brother are innocent. I believe this is just the government trying to extract as much resources out of them as possible before they move to Dubai, because we all know they move into Dubai once this is over. You heard it here first. They're moving to Dubai after all this. And the government's trying to get as much wealth or tax money, whatever, the money laundering, as much as they can. And they're just using this as a pretext to hold them in Romania. That's just my thoughts. I could be wrong. I did the cursory research. Fresh and Fit, they are big supporters of him. The biggest defenders online I have seen so far. And they talk about how these girls left the country when they wasn't even supposed to leave the country. You wasn't even supposed to leave the country. And you left. You went to France. You got a rollie on your wrist. You driving a Porsche, Bentley. Damn, that don't sound like someone that just came out of being victimized for trafficking. That don't sound like a victim of trafficking. That sounds like somebody that was taking advantage of the situation. Oh, I want to be around these rich men, enjoy their parties, enjoy their cars, enjoy this stuff. And once the enjoyment's over, I go on to the next one. That's what it seemed like to me. But hey, you might think differently in the comment section. Let me hear your voice. Let me get back into the video.
Proud of the lies. Obviously, we don't know exactly what they're referring to here, but somebody called the embassy last year to obviously say something bad about the Tates, to say that they did something illegal. Maybe after saying we need an Oscar, that's what they're referring to. Maybe they just called the embassy to play victim. So if you scroll down and you can see here, the girl says, I told you to be like saying a nice message that we are hurt or shit like that we do love them, we just don't like the situation. So now they're talking about some kind of complaint against the Tates that they made. They're pretending that they love them, but they're just hurt and they're scared and they don't like the situation. So now we can see they're discussing the lies that they told potentially the embassy or the police, whoever it is. They're probably referring to when they were at the Tate's house. They're making up lies that they're being held hostage at the house, and they're playing the perfect victim by saying, we love them, but we're scared, come save us.
Trying to do the whole Stockholm syndrome type. Look, this is one of the situations where I think people may disagree with me a little bit. Is I believe in most cases, you volunteer to put yourself in compromising situations versus you just being solely the victim. Yes, you can be a victim of your own bad choices. And yes, victims are victims. I agree. But you have to recognize how you set yourself up to be in that situation. That's all I'm trying to say. Because if you're looking at this logically, okay, how you got there? Oh, so you took a plane ride. Okay, you did this. Oh, okay. You're able to come and go as you please. But for some reason, the Tates are responsible for holding you hostage.
Bruh. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, female logic. And this is what I'm talking about, women being babied. Women are not, like, this is what feminists should be mad about. Women are not held to the standard of their own. They're able to govern themselves. They're able to make choices on behalf of themselves. One hand, if you tell a girl, oh, you're not allowed to make decisions for yourself, they'll look at you like,
how dare you?
But then in other cases, when it benefits them, they can be like, oh, I couldn't do it. I was coerced to stay by him. I loved him. But you loved him, but you wanted to stay with him, even though it's mistreating yourself. Like, you get me? Like, there's no ownership at all whatsoever. Right? And this is the problem that a lot of men have, is that feminists or people who claim to be feminists or these women, they want equality when it benefits them. When it don't benefit them, they don't want to be equal anymore. And that's a big problem we have in our culture, right? If our culture is pushing everyone should be equal, then we should treat everyone as an equal. The only one who's supposed to get preferential treatment in a man's life is his wife, his girlfriend. That's it. Every other woman, you just like the bros.
Bruh.
That's the society we're supposed to be fighting for, right, feminist?
Nope.
Oh no, y'all don't want that. Dumb me. You know, I thought y'all was fighting for equal rights, but it just seems like feminism is only about giving women privilege. That's it. Because this is a privilege to essentially commit fraud and not be held in contempt. Like, imagine that. Imagine you defrauded somebody. There's laws in New York apparently that if a man meets a woman under false pretexts, he can be sued and he can go to jail for fraud. But we're not prosecuting paternity fraud. We're not prosecuting false allegations. Bruh. Crazy times we living in, people. Crazy times. Let's get back into the video.
And obviously, as an American girl, if you call up the American embassy in Romania saying that you're afraid and you don't like the situation you're in, that's a very serious allegation and claim. So naturally, people are going to respond straight away. And then the next day, there were raids on the house. But it's really interesting if you keep scrolling. One of the girls says, play the victim. I mean, we are, but act like we still love them and stuff. So again, confirming that they're pretending to be victims to somebody else. Again, we don't know who this is. It could be the embassy, the police, we're not sure, but it is one day before the raid. So it's obviously some kind of authority or official. So the second screenshot, the conversation continues. And one of the girls is saying how she's gonna reach out to Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime to basically tell their fake story.
Imagine that. You lied. You try to frame somebody for something they didn't do, and then you want, in the back end, you want to profit off of it as well. This is why they say hell has no fury like a woman scorned. Like, imagine the rationalization of this. Look at this emotional reasoning, right? Because of the crime is, oh, the Tates hurt my feelings, so I'm going to go destroy their reputation, essentially put them in jail that could put them up for 15 years in prison.
Bruh.
Right? And Tate and Tristan are still in jail. They got held up for another 30 days at the time of this recording. Right? Their assistants got away, but they're under house arrest. Right? Come on, guys. Hey, man. I'm baffled, bro. Like, if any feminists ever wonder why the Me Too movement died, why people don't trust women when they make out these false accusations, because every highly publicized sexual assault or human trafficking story, it always seems to end up being fraudulent. Always. And eventually the human's pattern recognition system is going to hit. And eventually a woman's going to end up becoming the girl who cried wolf. And then y'all want to get mad when people don't believe y'all because y'all do stuff like this. Y'all condone stuff like this. It's one thing if women do it, but it's another thing when other women don't call it out. And she's the minority here. Like Laylah, there's not a lot of women like Laylah that's going to go out and openly call this out. But there's a lot of women out there that will make excuses for why, well, we should just believe them. So what if it destroys the man's reputation? We should make it easier and accessible for people to come forward with lies. But hey, I digress. Let's get back into the video.
about the Tates as they said they would do in the screenshot above. This is very typical of girls. They obviously want to get as much clout as possible. They want to get
Attention.
fame. They want to be on
Vanity.
TV. I think that the Tinder Swindler came out around similar time, and now all those girls are extremely famous. That's probably what the purpose of this is. You can see from all the screenshots, they're finding it funny. They're laughing. Yeah, babe, haha, so good. They're loving it. They want the clout and they want the fame.
I think our social media culture made women more narcissistic. You guys agree? Let me know in the comment section.
This does not sound like a victim to me. This sounds like two girls who are having a really good time enjoying all the media attention. So the second screenshot now shows the American woman having a conversation about the situation with her mother. And what I thought was really interesting was the girl told her mum that she's not concerned. She said, Tristan doesn't really care if I leave. That is so important. It's one of the biggest accusations. And actually something that Vice spoke about was that the women were afraid to leave. They took their passports. The women were terrified. Well, again, if this is true, the woman is literally saying, Tristan doesn't care if I leave. I'm not concerned. I don't care. I feel fine.
And this is one thing. If you're a big component of Believe All Women, Me Too movement, a feminist, you hate the Tates, this is the worst thing that can happen to you right now. Because if these dudes get out, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You thought they were problematic before. You thought they were influenced before. Don't let them come out of this louder and prouder. Oh my God, bruh. Y'all won't even know what to do with yourselves at that point. Right? Y'all better hope he goes to jail. I'm being dead serious here, because you thought his influence was problematic now. Let him come out at the other end of this innocent. Lord knows how crazy it's going to get in social media. How mad the liberals going to be. They're going to be screaming in the air. But yeah, I digress. Let's get back.
That literally makes the Tates innocent. It literally goes against all of the claims. As you continue to scroll down, it says, I don't think they care much if we leave anyway, which is why I feel okay. She just says she doesn't think the Tates would care if she leaves, which is why she feels fine. Again, doesn't sound like a scared, terrified, real victim to me. So after she says that she feels completely safe and fine if she decides to leave, she's now having this big argument with her mother, and it's actually really unclear what is going on. She wants to go to London. She has this big argument with her mum, but her mum is clearly very mad at her and tells her to go to hell for being arrogant, ignorant, and she doesn't like her BS. So her mum is clearly very upset with her behavior. Perhaps it's to do with the lying that she's told her mum.
Mom thought your ass was in trouble, and you come in here lying to her. Like,
It doesn't make sense.
Like, come on. This attention seeking gotta stop. This clout chasing stuff gotta stop, guys. It's starting to get ridiculous now. The song, I forgot who, but they'll do anything for clout. They'll do anything for clout. That's how it sounds like. This is what it comes up. So any prominent man, minute he gets a bunch of accusations from some women, everyone's going to be like, here we go again. Probably lying. Probably saw he got money now. Now they want to come out. And now he did something wrong to me. Right? Because now it's beneficial for them. Right? And I don't know what we're going to do as a culture. One, it seems like we are making each other more divided over this stuff, to the point where now we can't take anyone's word for anything anymore. Now everything has to come with evidence. Everything has to come with facts. And it seems like, and I'm going to end it off here. It seemed like when in the beginning, when I didn't react to it, I held back because I knew I was biased, and I had the need to feel like I want to stick up for Andrew Tate. But I was like, let me hold back. A lot when stuff came out with the Vice and the messages, the voice messages and all that stuff, people who are against Tate latch onto that and say, see, this is why he's guilty. This is why he's guilty. And Fresh and Fit came out defending him because they personally knew him. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, am I believe a bunch of people who never been in the Tate's house?
Nope.
No, I wouldn't. So Fresh and Fit been to the Tate's house before. They would have saw some evidence, right? And they came out strongly supporting, even before any of these positive evidence came out in positively for Andrew Tate. Before that, any of that stuff came out, Fresh and Fit was already behind him saying, hey, he's innocent. I can speak on his character. I've been at his house. I saw no evidence of any trafficking going along. They were trying to kick girls out of their house. In my head, I'm like, oh, I'm going to give more credibility to their claims because they actually been to the location. All these people, Monday night quarterbacking, behind a screen, looking at the same information that we all have access to. So they don't have personal insight like Fresh and Fit does. But hey, I could be wrong at the end of the day. We'll see. Andrew Tate got held up for another 30 days. I pray that justice is served and either he's innocent or he's guilty. But in my mind, he's innocent, and I hope he gets let out tomorrow. But hey, that's not likely to happen. I hope everything turns out okay. And yeah, Romania's corrupt. Thanks for watching till the end of the video. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.